but it's hard to get canceled.
Welcome, everybody. Today is December 19th, 2023. This is the Village of Hannah City Council meeting. Ready? Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence.
Let's start early.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. May be seated. Danny, you just here to watch tonight? Danny, can you hear us?
Yeah, sorry, my phone was acting up. Yeah, I'm just here to watch.
Okay, thank you, sir. Everybody should have a copy of our December 5th, 2023 meeting in front of them. That's so generously typed up by Village Clerk.
Yeah, somehow I sent one page, sorry.
I thought that was all the additions.
I tried to comment on people.
I will make a motion that we accept the minutes as submitted.
Second. And a motion by Sidak, second by Johnson. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Treasury report. Sandra.
Nothing outstanding on the, or nothing really out of the ordinary on the treasurer's report. You do have 3 payroll reports, one for each payroll and then one for our Christmas bonuses. You want to look that over.
What's the Linden and Company?
They do parts for the lift stations and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that birdcage.
Yeah. Transducer.
I'll pretend like I know exactly what that is.
Exactly.
It reduces grant.
I'll make the motion to approve the treasurer's report and pay all the outstanding bills.
Second. Motion by Cherubali, second by Johnson. Any further discussion? Roll call is Weaver.
Yes.
Cherubali.
Yes.
Sidak.
Yes.
Johnson. Yes. Motion carried. No engineering.
Just got a note from him today, kind of updating me on where we are with the water tower. They've had some turnover in staff, so they had a little bit of a blip, but he's back on it, he says. So, and I got a whole list of things he's working on, so it's in progress.
Okay. Attorney's report. Abby.
I don't have any updates in particular, but on the agenda tonight is our fee agreement. So if anyone has questions about that or would like me to talk about it, I'm happy to do so. But other than that, I don't have anything to report.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Abby. Brian?
Yeah, financials from November. You should have a packet in your deck. If you look at the first slide, so we were income of 108,180, expenses of 89,737, so we had a positive variance of 18,443. Remember the magic number for cash is 21,500, so we ate a little cash this month, and I'll speak to that in a little bit. If you look at the November core funds, general that's where we had the biggest issue, and again, I'll walk through that. I've got some details on it later. Water was positive, sewer was positive, garbage was positive. MFT, we had the final expenses for the closing out of the project, and then later in this meeting, you'll see we've got a thing for you to review that our 2022 program was audited and approved. But I think we should have all of our MFT expenses and just income from this point forward. TIF, you can see not much income because there's no property tax, but we did have the coffee can reimbursement, so that's the major expense there. BDD income was $11,387, so again we were down just a little bit. Expenses were the grants. If you look at the monthly summary, we were positive 18,000 roughly for the core funds. General was negative 1,800. Income was pretty much on budget, on target. Our expenses were negative by 1,500, but we had about $10,000 in additional expenses. We had a big attorney month where I think we had $8,000 or $5,000 over our budget in attorney fees. We had economic development reimbursements. There's a portion of that that's taken out of general. We had the water leak over by the retirement folks, and we had sidewalks and driveways we had to repair, so that was $2,000 for that. And the electricity for the street lighting was $1,000 over, so that's what drove that kind of big number. Water, we were plus $12K. Income, we were almost $3,000 to the good. Expenses were $7,000 below or to the good. And water purchases was $3,200 to the good than what we had budgeted, so that was good. Sewer, we were $6,700. Income was on budget. Expenses was $3,800 to the good. And garbage was about $1,200 positive. If you have MFT, we were plus $1,700. Our income was pretty much on budget, but our expenses were negative. TIF, we were negative $7,200, and that was the economic development reimbursements. BDD, we were positive, basically $250, so almost break even. Income was down about $1,000. Expenses was $1,500 negative. Year to date, you look at the core funds, so all in, everything with capital and everything, we have $980,969 in income, $799,677 in expenses, so we're $181,292, but remember $97,040 was capital expenditures that we carried cash over. So the next slide shows if you take those capital expenditures out, our performance against the budget we're $278,338 to the good. If you look at the breakdown of the core funds, general is still really strong, $152,519. Water is almost $60,000 to the good. Sewer is negative, but then again, that's got the big capital number in there, $93,000 for the lift station and the sewer lining repairs. So the next slide then shows the adjusted numbers. So water $61,929 to the good, sewer $57,000 to the good, garbage $68,000 to the good. So I'm sorry, $6,800 to the good. Thank you. So everything's tracking along pretty well. MFT for the month we had 32,000, or for the year to date 32,182. Income expenses of 737,647. I penciled it out. We should get another roughly $20,000 in income. So we should be negative by about 20,000, but that's what we had budgeted to pull out of the street fund to cover that. So that's on track. TIF, we're 69,000 in income, 13,000 expenses, so we're 56,000 to the good. We just got our final tax statement this week, and we sent that off to Jacob and Klein. They'll figure out what the 80% reimbursement on the residential side is, and we'll probably have to approve that the first meeting in January. So this number will drop by whatever that 80% return we have to give to the other taxing bodies is. Year-to-date BDD, we are negative 28,130, but I think as we go through the rest of the months, we've got all the expenses in pretty much, except for the one that we're going to talk about tonight. But we should finish the year around 30,000 to the good in BDD. So core funds adjusted for the year were 278 to the good. General's 153. Income is better than budget. Expenses is currently worse than budget. That's timing. Water were plus 62. Income's better than budget. Expenses slightly better than budget. Sewer is plus 57. Our income's better than budget. Our expenses are slightly better than budget. Garbage is 6,800 to the good. Our income's better than budget, and our expenses are on budget. So. Year-to-date summary for MFT, we're 41,000 negative. Expenses are done for the year, but like I said, we should catch up about 20 grand, and then we budgeted to take 20 out of the street but the fund. TIF, we're 57 to the good, and the next meeting we'll have the 80% for the taxing bodies that I mentioned. And then BDD, we're negative 28, but where grants are complete, so we shouldn't have any more expenses, and with the income by the end of the year, we should be around 30,000 positive. If you look at cash, we've got check 820 in checking, so that was down for the month. Savings were 1 million, a little over, almost 1.1. We had both a positive variance, both monthly and year to date, and then total we're almost to, we're 1.9, coming up on almost 2 million in cash. So, and then you can look at the details on the cash sheet. I highlighted in yellow everything that was negative. So for the month, the operating account was negative, but that was pretty much the night, almost at 10,000 in general that I talked about earlier. Sewer was negative, but that was a correction that we made between sewer and water from a previous month. We had put it in the wrong place. Year to date, we're still positive cash, 114, about 114,000. The reason we're down 57,000 in the capital side down below is that's the sewer lining project. The money was taken out for that. So, all in all, we're running the shop and taking care of our capital expenses and still cash flow positive. Questions?
Any other questions? Thank you, Brian. Committee reports, Mr. Charavalli.
I got nothing.
Mr. Johnson.
No report.
Sanitary sewer. Anybody check Brian's?
No, he doesn't, I don't have the water numbers. I realize now that I put some sewer stuff under water. But I can cover that stuff for you.
Go ahead.
We've got the lagoon in your packet. You can see from VOHC Electronic, there's two things that are stapled together there. The first one was the original quote for $33.28 to do the lagoon blower motor. We've got the second number is the revised quote, $44.25, which is $1,097 higher. That was parts expenses that went up. So we just need to, I think we already approved the lower number. We just need to improve the higher number, assuming you want to.
I should probably keep the sewer lagoon running.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion. We approve the new quote from VOHC Electric for $44.25.
Is that separate from this?
Yeah, the old number was $33.28. The new number is $44.25. So it's not additive. It's not $7,000. If that's your question.
No, my question is, are they going to
That's a
approve
separate-
this
that's a
thing?
separate-
Okay.
Yeah. Did you make a motion?
I did. Somebody seconded it.
Yeah.
Waiver.
Yeah. I have a motion by Johnson, second by Weaver. Any further discussion? Okay, we'll roll call it. Charavalli?
Yes.
Sidak?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Weaver?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Just FYI, this work has not been done yet. We're still waiting on the parts. The second thing was the second quote there, and this was for the lift station. We kind of had an emergency electrical issue. We had to put a transducer on. I don't know what that is either, but it cost $11.25. This work has already been done, but we had an emergency approval from finance, the mayor, and Ryan, but we haven't approved it officially here.
Make a motion. We approve the $1,125 invoice or quote from Linden and Company.
Second.
Motion by Johnson, second by Sidak. Any further discussion? So roll call it. Sidak?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Weaver?
Yes.
Charavalli?
Yes.
Motion carries.
All right, the correct thing underwater is we need to vote on whether or not, the way the ordinance is written is if we do nothing, we'll implement a 2.7% increase on the water rates in January. That's the way we wrote it up. It was an automatic increase because that's basically in line with what we'd seen from Illinois American Water over the years.
Prior to our doing the big adjustment.
Last year we had the 40% increase, and so we raised it equivalent with that. At this point in time, I don't see anything that says we're going to get an additional increase this year from Illinois American Water, but
And again, we didn't get it till January last year.
that's true. After January 3rd, after it had already been implemented.
Right.
So the question is do we want to keep the 2.7% increase for next year's water, or do we want to?
Do we basically want to do nothing?
If we do nothing, yeah. If we do nothing, it's going to impact it. If you vote to not do it, then we won't do it. Yep, that's the point.
Wait, so if we say yes, it's yes to do nothing.
No, it's a vote to raise it.
No,
Well,
we do
why don't you
nothing.
make the motion?
You know,
But it's written on there to raise
it's already in the ordinance to have the automatic adjustment.
We'd have to stop it.
We would have to stop it. We'd have to amend the ordinance.
So if you do nothing tonight, the 2.7 will take place in January.
Yeah.
If you don't want that 2.7 to take place in January, somebody needs to make a motion to say they don't want that to happen.
They don't have to vote to keep it rolling. Okay.
Yeah, let it keep rolling because then you find yourself in not the 40% situation, but you find yourself playing catch up all at one time someday.
Is that how everybody feels?
So I will entertain a motion to keep.
We don't need to vote
Don't need to
anymore.
do anything.
You said it as vote. So
Well, I had it on there because if we wanted to vote on
Remove
not
it.
doing it. Okay, so we will work on implementing that in January. That is it for water.
building the ground.
Hopefully offset the fee raise that's going to come from the month of January.
Streets and alleys.
MFT compliance review summary.
The magic words are on page 3, I guess, the second, where it says they reviewed January 1 to December 31, and the entries for the receipts in these books and records are true and accurate and are in agreement with the records maintained by the DOT.
Oh, I never saw this.
Perfect.
So there's nothing we need to do. It's just in the recommendation they sent us, they said you should review it with your board so that they know that everything went well.
Everything's going according to plan.
We're gonna pay them.
Everything went according to plan.
And just FYI, we're working on next year's. Roger and I are meeting tomorrow to put together an outline for what we might want to do next year, and then we'll share it with you and go from there.
Okay. Next item is the D&L pool sidewalk repair quotes. There is one here from Brian Allen Construction for $2,875. And another one from Matt Zentes.
Yep.
For $2,400.
This is the problem right in front of D&L pools. They've got like a big dip there. I can't remember. I think it happened right after when we first put them in, didn't it?
No, I think it was lower, and then I think with all the fiber running and everything through town, it probably finally settled.
Since as is,
What did it settle from?
Or at least his businesses.
I don't know. It's pretty bad.
Is it new sidewalk we did?
No, it's been there for a while. It's been there as long as I've been here.
Is it sidewalk maybe?
sidewalk the state put in.
Yeah. Oh, it's stuff that they put in back.
Yeah.
And they're going to replace the sidewalk and the curb.
No, the curb's not affected. It's just the sidewalk. There's grass between the sidewalk and the curb.
Yeah.
Well, this one says D&L pools. That one says Sister B sidewalk.
Yeah, he's got it misnamed. That's it. He named it wrong.
J&L pool.
As far as the contractors, both these guys are people we want to try to use. They're reasonable. Sventes is the one who just did the work over that we just paid over on, in the,
Heritage.
by Heritage, yeah. They did a nice job there. And then Brian Allen's the one that did the concrete over around Hannah City Tap. He did a nice job there. And I know Brian from high school.
So the pop-up drains go, so this is Boulevard sidewalk, then there's a grass strip in between. So that pop-up drain goes between there to,
Yeah, it's right in front of the building, right in front of the D&L pool building.
I'm just wondering why the one put,
one has a
Pour concrete curb sidewalk combo.
sidewalk combo,
Yeah.
16 feet by 4 feet.
Which one has that?
The Brian
Brian
Allen.
Allen. And then Matt's got 13 by 13 and 5 by 10.
yeah,
So that's not even,
Yeah.
that's not even
it's not
close.
even close.
I wonder if Brian maybe looked at the wrong place then.
Yeah, I'm wondering.
Because
Because he's got sister bees too instead of the thing, and these look a concrete curb sidewalk combo. We don't want that anyway. I mean, we wouldn't ever want that poured monolithically.
All
We
right,
don't
so
want
let
those
me
poured
I'll
separate.
pull this one out. I guess the question is, do you want to use Stenke's?
I'm not even sure they've been the same thing.
Well, I'm saying I think Brian's is the one that's wrong.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
And
if
is
that's the
this
case, then
something
Sense is the only one that turned in one
Yeah.
that's appropriate.
Are we in a hurry for this?
that-
Well,
Cause like
weather.
this guy is charging 300.
Does
just
this
to
make
put
sense? I
something-
don't even know what this
Right.
but does 13 by 13 and 5 by 10 even make sense?
Are they
Or
worried? They were
Rogers looked at these and told me
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
I don't want to vote on either
our
one.
sidewalk is 13 by 13.
Yeah, no kidding. That's what I'm wondering. I mean, unless
Hold.
because I don't even know if who did the right thing even. And we have what sidewalks 13 feet deep. You know what I mean? 13 feet long, 13 feet deep, and then another piece. The 5 by 10 is realistic, but the 13 by 13. Are we pouring something on private property, or
No.
I don't know. I'll
then how would it be
make
13 feet
Yeah.
deep? That doesn't make any
13 feet
sense.
wide, you know.
Yeah, 13 feet wide. How would that be possible? Fit on the right of way between the curb and the building.
Sounds great for that,
Is
right?
that going, that driveway that goes back to the
No.
fire department?
They didn't quote it as driveway. I mean,
It's
that's a
right-
possibility being that deep, but they didn't quote it as driveway, which
Right
would
at
be a
the
different
corner of the
thickness.
building. So if you're looking at D&H from the road, if you're standing in the road, it's the front left corner of their building. So basically, if you walk out of their door,
Near
make a
the
left-
addition, then.
Huh?
Oh, basically by the addition.
Yeah, it's right there at the sidewalk where they normally have their fruits and stuff. And
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Well, but that goes all the way up to their
Do you need a
building,
motion to table
right?
it?
Right.
No.
But it's not that
No.
far. I mean, it's
Because the sidewalk itself goes up to the grass, and then the other sidewalk goes all the way up to the building.
Yeah, because some of that sidewalk is going.
And
You
why
guys take a
is
look at it.
that
I'll get
not
clarification
IDOT's?
from Roger and I'll put it on the
Oh,
next meeting.
no, that's curbside sidewalk. When it gets in front of the building, that sidewalk comes all the way to the curb. So that's what that guy's bidding. It goes all the way back to the building, from curb to building in front of the building. When it gets past the building going east, then it switches to just boulevard. There's a grass strip. But I'm wondering where they're down. So
Brian was on
so
the
that's
other
the
side of
13 by
Spring Street.
13 and the 5 by 10. That could be realistic then, I guess. But we'd be pouring it right up to their building, I suppose. So that
Well, we
wouldn't-
have two options. If you think the Zaventis quote is right, we can approve it and confirm that it's right. Or we can wait and do it at the next meeting.
Yeah, I think Brian Allen
clarification-
definitely looked at the wrong thing. But
Yeah, we'll wait.
yeah, how did they know what to bid? Did Roger take them out there and show them? Or?
I already talked to him and told him, gave him the address or whatever, right?
Yeah.
We went beyond that.
so I would entertain a motion to table
Yeah.
the pool sidewalk repair quotes until our next meeting.
It'd be nice to get two numbers on the same thing.
Second.
You don't need to vote on it, you just say it's tabled.
You already did it, so let's go.
No.
Same.
So all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. So we'll table that until our next meeting.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well. Be nice to get two numbers on the same thing, or on the,
Anything else, Ron?
No, that's it. I wonder because I know they're doing some concrete. They're right next to Sister B's between the house and there. So I wonder if Brian bid that but sent the wrong quote to us.
Oh, he actually was bidding their work. Yeah,
he
that
might have
could
been
be
bidding
good.
their work too and sent the wrong quote to us and the wrong one to him or something. I don't know. So
Yeah.
I'll look into it.
I mean, they're not. Well, maybe they were. It's pretty cold out. But
CEDC, Mr. Sidak.
Right, first item is this handy dandy little ordinance rescinding our agreement with Sains for the 10K little cash injection, since they are currently unable to staff the new addition. They've not taken the money, so we're just going to rescind that agreement, and then if it comes to our attention again, we can make another one. We already got it right here. Well,
You make a motion?
I don't think it's so self-centered to make my own motion, but I'll make a motion to adopt an ordinance for sending an ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of a TIF redevelopment agreement.
second.
Motion by Sidak, second by Johnson. Any further discussion? Roll call. Johnson?
Yep.
Weaver?
Yes.
Chirivali?
Yes.
Sidak?
Yes.
Motion carries. This will be ordinance number 23-12-02.
We need to get all the signatures on the back.
Yep.
And then if you could scan it and send a copy to me and give the original to Cassandra to file. And I'll send it.
Are you just checking the check mark or does everybody need?
I don't know, however it needs to work.
I'm like,
I just need an electronic copy to send to Jacob and Klein. You give the original, you could file it.
Okay, next item. Brian, I'm gonna need some help with this because the language is a
Okay,
little bit
I can.
over my head.
No problem. I can go into it. So, just in the way of history, this is unrelated. This is actually a form or process we've not used before. But if you remember, we did Hannah City Tap redid their sidewalk, which is technically our sidewalk. But she wanted to redo it, and so what we ended up doing was a redevelopment agreement with her. The sidewalk was roughly $20,000. We paid half of it. Well, in that process, she decided that she was hoping that we could put new blacktop in there. You can see there's a picture behind it that shows the blacktop. The blacktop is basically in our right-of-way, so if you look straight down, you can see it's in that same grass area where our right-of-way would be amongst the other homes. And so what I did is I contacted Gwen from Jacob and Klein, and I said, look, how would we handle this? And she said, this is really separate from the agreement that you had with Hannah City Tap. This is just us saying that we want to pay for the blacktop, which is on our property. So this form is called Public Improvement Redevelopment Project. And so assuming we want to pay the $5,600 for the blacktop, which would be what the staff would recommend, we're basically paying for that new blacktop there. Even though at the end of the day, she's going to use it for parking to some degree. But we would have had to do something with it anyway. If they weren't working on it, we probably would have oil chipped it last year when we did the Hannah City for the road there. The other,
Which would probably be a lot cheaper than blacktopping it would.
it would have been, yeah. But still, it looks nice. It needed it. So basically, what I'm looking for is a recommendation to spend a portion of the BDD dollars on a public works improvement project.
They're not striping it then?
Huh?
For parking spots?
I do not believe so. I haven't had that conversation directly with her, but no, I don't think she is. It's basically our property. And she hasn't paid for it. We'll be paying the contractor directly. And Roger's been involved in the process to make sure that it went the way he wanted it, got done the way he wanted it.
Okay, would that just be a vote for approval then of the total invoice amount?
Yes. Vote for the.
public improvement redevelopment.
Yeah, probably vote for approval of this into this document.
All right.
BDD requisition.
I will make a motion to approve the request for verification of BDD eligibility for public improvement redevelopment project costs in the Village of Hannah City, Illinois, for the total amount of $5,600.00.
Motion by Sinek,
Second.
second by Johnson. Any further discussion? Everybody knows what we're voting on?
Who typed the stuff inside the request form? Black token.
Can you do it? Laura?
That's the P.
Sorry.
Oh, that's what we did with the black.
That's slightly
It's a different method.
It's a new
It's a newer road
Yeah,
method.
I can hope you're not familiar with our fancy stuff.
Exactly.
Well, cheaper than blacktop.
Exactly.
So, any further discussion? We'll roll call it. Weaver,
Yes.
Chair Volley,
Yes.
Sidak,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
This will
He's
be,
not happy about it, but yeah.
Denise, this will be another one that we just need
Okay.
Tony to sign and scan and give original to Sandra.
Does this need to go with it?
Oh, and then also I saw the little notice go out on the website. It looks very nice about the redevelopment program, and eligibility cards will be going out in January.
I saw quite a few people, well, quite a few, 3 or 4 people asking, like, why is it, how is this district made? Why don't they include these other houses?
Yeah, Tracy called me and told me that, and I told her to respond to each of them and give them my email and my cell number to
Yeah.
call, and I would walk them through it.
Because I knew what the
And
TIF was, but honestly, because
both of them.
I could
are
not
really-
remember how the BDD was developed. I knew the TIF was the.
It's the same process, or similar process anyway, that Jacob and Klein goes and looks at.
Oh, it's still, so BDD still has to do with the blighted factor and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That I could
So
not
we really
remember.
don't have any. We adopted it. We voted to adopt it.
Yeah. I knew it
Using the
was-
parameters
I knew
they
the
built it,
criteria
and
was
we
out of
didn't
our-
have any.
yeah.
We didn't really have any say as to.
Yeah, I knew the criteria was out of our hands, and until the TIF gets more robust, it won't expand. There won't be anything for the rest of the town, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
but it had nothing to do, whatever the blight definition. We're kind
So
of
all of those
told
people, she told
Oh, okay.
my contact information and said he'll call or email and he'll explain.
Gotcha.
It's just too difficult to go. I don't want, and plus, when you put it online, then it's, well, what about, and what about, and that doesn't seem
Yeah.
fair, and it's easier just to do it one-on-one.
I would just
Did
say
they call
that the
you?
attorneys are the ones that did this, and we just adopted it.
Well, it's,
Did they call you?
they're just implementing what the state sets as the guidelines for being
Right.
blighted too. So
Correct. There you go.
Oh, I know, I told you a story. I had one guy that he was for sure that we were sticking it to him.
really,
Well, I
On
feel,
Murphy Road.
It's not our church.
I feel that.
sorry,
Well, I guess
I
it's
thought you were
not,
sticking it to me.
it's not Abby, but it's
Right.
our economic development attorneys, Jacob and Klein out of, I guess they're in Bloomington.
Bloomington, yeah.
They sent me.
And then they have
Yeah,
a
me too.
they have a business
Don't feel so
section.
special.
They have an
I
accounting and
have
a legal side, and Gwen's the accounting and business side. And
Huh.
can't remember you guys remember the attorney's name?
Mr. Jacob.
Jacob Klein.
Any report.
I never.
Klein.
Under administration, we had between December 4th and December 10th, we had 15 calls.
I'm sorry, what was it again?
December 4th to December 10th. Lockout, 2 medical, county fire, medical, motor vehicle stop, serve papers, disorderly conduct, serve papers, motor vehicle stop, person with a gun. What's your address, Kate?
Oh,
Just joking.
That's I don't know what to say.
And disorderly conduct.
That's descriptive. That's all.
Hannah City, that's all.
And then December 11th to December 17th, there were 4 incidents. Medical, fire, standby to keep the peace. Follow up. December 11th to December 17th. End of report. Brian, you'll have to help with this.
What are we on? Village attorney?
Yep.
The Abby, do you want to speak to the agreement, the client?
Yeah, I can briefly. So just to be clear, nothing about our representation is changing. It's the same situation as it always has been since 2010, I believe. Fee distribution's the same. Simply all that's going on is we were kind of doing an audit of our clients and checking out, who has fee agreements and whatnot. We couldn't find one for Handa City. So we thought it was probably a good idea to sort of memorialize, our agreement in writing. So that's all it is. No malice behind it. We're not trying to pull one over on you or anything. It's literally just us trying to, document a representation.
Well, and I probably left you guys with that impression because I just was checking around with other people who were your clients to see if they had them in place or if it was just us. And I didn't mean anything by it either. I was just doing my due diligence to make sure that we were agreeing to something that was common. But you have them with West Peoria and Delavan, I guess, and others.
Yeah, it's our standard client fee agreement. The only thing that's pretty much different that would change would be, the fee distribution. But that's it pretty much. Does anyone have any other questions about it?
Do I need to initial on any of all these items, Abby?
No, just sign the final page.
Okay. And do I need to put a flat fee number in there because it's blank? Says
Nope.
$300.
$0.
Nope, we filled it all out for you. So all you need to do is sign it under the clients section on the last page.
Okay.
You need this date on the first page.
Already done.
Okay.
You don't have to date it. When I receive your signed copy, I'll date it because it's going to be the last signatures date, if that makes sense.
What's the in witness the parties agree as of the date in your first above written?
In the first paragraph is what you're talking about?
Page 5 at the very bottom.
Oh, that's just for the signature page. It didn't go on to the final page. It's just part of that.
I mean, does somebody need to witness his signature?
No. I mean, I'm witnessing it right now, technically. But if you want to date it next to your signature, that's fine. But I'll put the finalized date in the top paragraph when our office signs it.
And who all needs to sign on the clients? Only?
Just Tony.
Okay. There's 2 lines. I just wanted to make sure.
Name and title.
So
we need a motion?
Yeah, I need a motion to authorize me to sign
Or
this
name and office.
contractual agreement of legal representation.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Sladak, second by Johnson. Any further discussion? Roll call. Chair Volley.
Yes.
Sladak.
Yes.
Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
Mr. Weaver.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Denise signed copy, scanned, and sent to Abby and I.
Okay.
Original to Cassandra
As well. So the initial and date each page at the bottom.
Stand on your head.
And once our office signs it, I'll send you the scanned copy of it too.
Okay, great.
As a family district.
Brian, code update?
Yeah, so we finished the first section of the code, the administrative section. I did not put all 35 pages in the packet. You do all have them electronically because it was sent to you in the electronic packet. All I'm saying is if you want to, you can review it between now and the next meeting, which will be January 2nd, and we'll vote on it at that meeting. Basically, we did we removed some stuff, we cleaned some stuff up, we added some stuff that needed to be in there. We simplified it. We looked at West Peoria's, we looked at ours, we talked with Abby, and we tried to make it as clean as possible. So. Any questions on that? We're starting on zoning next. That'll be the next one.
No.
It's going to take us a while, but we'll get through it.
I'm shutting my cell phone.
And then when it's all said and done, we'll do our own codification. We'll use West Peoria's process. We'll get rid of Illinois American Legal, and we'll do it all ourselves and save whatever that $5 or $6 grand a year, whatever that is. So, but it may take us all of next year to get it all done. We meet like every other Thursday and just read and go through it and make sure we understand it. So at least we'll know that we know our code, or at least Cassandra and I will know our code.
Our next board meeting is January 2nd. And if everybody didn't already, tell Cassandra happy birthday. Today's her birthday. She's a big whopping
That's rude.
25.
That's rude.
And that's me. Under correspondence,
29.
5th anniversary return birthday.
can't remember who's Proform sent us a Christmas card.
What do they do?
Print our checks.
Print our checks?
Print our tour
I
bills.
was gonna say I've heard of them, but I can't think of how I've heard of them.
And Darren LaHood and family sent us 2 Christmas cards.
That's how
I'm
much
sure
he
one's
cares.
for all of us and one's for
They're
them.
especially happy.
Well,
Yeah.
actually, they have one that I was looking at them when I got them today. One says P.O. Box, whatever, and then 313 North 4th Street, and the other one just says 313 North 1st Street.
You think he would have noticed he was signing them all that we had too.
He didn't sign them. He didn't sign
There's
it.
no way.
Also got a correspondence from Carol Myrna. She works for the Center for Prevention of Abuse. They're asking for a donation during this holiday season of any amount. They have some predefined ones: 25, 50, 100, 250, 500,000, or other. So I did not know if the board felt inclined to provide a donation. They do an outstanding service in the Peoria County area. So we've had Carol at quite a few of our Mayor's Association meetings speaking on behalf of the advocating for the victims and stuff like that. So, and they're a completely nonprofit 501c3 organization.
Yeah. Yeah.
We only have to vote if it's 500 or more. I don't think we want to do that.
$4.99.
No, I can do up to 500.
Okay.
So I just want a consensus then. What do you think we should donate?
I think 200 is probably a normal, kind of like a sponsorship number kind of thing.
200?
So let it be written.
Let it be written. Okay, I'll do 200. Okay, then I'll have Cassandra send this in
On Tuesday.
on Tuesday. Anything else to come before the board? Okay, with that being said, meeting adjourned.
Thanks, Abby. Thanks, Danny.
Have a good evening.
Happy holidays.
Happy
Happy
holidays.
Thank you.